Okay. Today we are going to start with the writing section. Look at your books on page 14. Okay. Now here, before we start, just we want to talk about, the objectives or, the goals of the lesson. Okay, look at these sentences. These are the goals of the lesson. Analyze email format and details. Who can read? Adnan? Adnan, read the...
Okay. The goals?
Yes.
Okay. Analyze email format and details. Find information about an email. Write a correct email. Use correct greetings for an email. Write a correct sign for an email. Use formal and informal style to address a letter.
Good. So here in general, we are going to know how can we write emails, whether these emails formal or informal, to a friend or to, for example, business, let us say, people. Look here. Look at your books on page 14. Here we have a chart. Together we are going to where can fill the chart with the information according to emails on page 7 and 6 and 7. Return back please to your books on page 6 and 7. Okay, look at your books on page 6 and 7. Here we have two emails. Okay, two emails. We are going to compare them between them, according to these, let us say, information. Who sent, the first email on page number 6?
Can I answer?
Can I?
Again, here you have to look at, the first email on page 6 and the second email on page 7. Now, the first email, who sent it on page
Can I
number
answer?
6? Mansour.
First page from Jonathan Maynard.
Good. The first email was sent by, Jennifer or Jonathan Maynard. Good.
Jonathan.
Now, what about the second email on page 7? Who sent it?
Mister, there are two emails, not one.
Yes, here we have 2 emails.
No, two emails on page 7. Which one?
The first one, yeah.
The in the middle, yes, in the middle.
Melanie.
Melanie, the one who sent it. Who sent, the second email?
Melanie.
Yes, Melanie. Again, here we have 2 emails. We are going to compare them. The first one was sent by, Jonathan Maynard, and the second was sent by Melanie. Now, again, back to the email on page number 6. Who sent it? To whom did Jonathan send it?
Mr.
Can I
Silva.
answer?
Yes. Please.
To Silva.
Good, Mr. Silva. Good. Now, what about the second? To whom did Melanie send her, let us say, email?
To Olivia.
Good. To Oliva, yes. Now again, talking about the greeting. What about the first email? How did Mr. Maryland, greet Mr. Silva? Yeah.
Dear Mr. Silva.
Good. Dear Mr. Silva. Now, what about the next email on page 7? How did Melanie,
Can I answer?
greeted, Oliva? Yes, Adnan.
Hi, Olivia.
Hi, Olivia. Good. Now, what about, the opening lines? The beginning of each email. What about the first one on page number
Can I
6?
solve?
Can I answer?
Yes. Yes. Ibrahim?
Yes. Opening lines for the first one, she started by apologizing for not
Good.
answering.
I want to
email.
apologize. Good. I want to apologize for not answering your email sooner. Now, what about the second email? Anwar?
Can I answer the
Second email was
Started with what?
how's work and how's Paris?
Good. How is work and how is Paris? Good. How is work and how is Paris? Now, again, back to the first email on page number 6. What do you think, the topic is about?
Apologizing.
Maybe,
No.
no, not
talking about
apologizing.
business.
Business,
Yes.
good. New suppliers, yes. Talking about business. Now, what about the second? Staying with what? A friend. Talking
Putting
about
her up.
with. Good. Now, what about the closing lines? Who can,
Can I?
Yes.
Best regards, Jonathan Maynard.
Best regards. Here, in the first email, and the second email is
Your best friend.
your best friend. I'm really looking forward to, or your best friend. Good. About the signature, how did the first one was signed?
By her name,
J,
by the
yes,
person who sent the
J,
email.
Maynard, yes. And the second is signed by what?
Your best, no. Your best friend.
Her name.
Her name, Melanie. Yes. Now, what is the purpose of the first email? I think it is what?
Apologizing.
No,
And
not
business. About the
business. Yes, business purpose. To reply a business, proposition. Proposition means offer. And the second is what? To inform and ask for information. Yes, asking about information. Quickly write the information and return back to page 14. You can take a screenshot. Now let's move to the next. On page 14. Again, try to fill in your chart quickly. Move to the email on page 15. Here we have the questions. We are going to read quickly and to listen, then to answer the questions together. Finished?
I finished.
Not yet?
No, I finished.
Okay. Look at B. Here we are going to read, the email from Adel to his friend in the USA. To his friend in the USA and answer, the questions. Look at the first question. Where did Adel spend the summer? What time of year is it? How does Adel feel about starting school again? Why is he excited about, the weekend? Also, we have another 2 questions. What does PS stand for? Why do we use it? Which email in your book is this email similar to? How do you know? We are going to listen, then we will back to the questions again and answer them. Okay? Look at the email. Just to share, the audio. 1 minute.
We will read now, Mr. or listen first?
We will listen first, then we will answer the question. Listen, please. Would you please mute your mic? Sorry. Listen.
Page 15. 10. Writing.
To Brian@megagoal.com. Subject, back to school. Attachment, JPEG.200. Hi, Brian. How are you doing? Did you have a good summer? How's school? I guess you've just started again, right? Well, that's life. I am attaching a photo of us at the game. How do you like it? We look good, huh? This is our first week back, and everyone is trying to get used to getting up early, spending most of the day at school, then home, homework, etc. But we have some great plans for the weekend. We'll drive to the desert with my cousins and spend the night there. I wish you could come along. It would be so much fun. Guess what? My father promised to let me drive the Jeep in the desert. Isn't that cool? What about you? Any special plans for the weekend? Don't forget, it's your turn next summer. You are going to come to Saudi and stay with us. I'd better not talk about the summer now. Time to get organized and get down to homework. Give my best to your family. Idil. P.S. My teacher complimented me on my English. I told him I had spent 2 months practicing with my friend.
Okay. Listen again, then we will answer the questions, please. Look here, PS. You realize that he added, some information at the end of the email. Listen.
Page 15. 10. Writing.
To Brian@megagoal.com. Subject, back to school. Attachment, JPEG.200. Hi, Brian. How are you doing? Did you have a good summer? How's school? I guess you've just started again, right? Well, that's life. I am attaching a photo of us at the game. How do you like it? We look good, huh? This is our first week back, and everyone is trying to get used to getting up early, spending most of the day at school, then home, homework, etc. But we have some great plans for the weekend. We'll drive to the desert with my cousins and spend the night there. I wish you could come along. It would be so much fun. Guess what? My father promised to let me drive the Jeep in the desert. Isn't that cool? What about you? Any special plans for the weekend? Don't forget, it's your turn next summer. You are going to come to Saudi and stay with us. I'd better not talk about the summer now. Time to get organized and get down to homework. Give my best to your family. Idil. P.S. My teacher complimented me on my English. I told him I had spent 2 months practicing with my friend.
Good. Okay, now back to your box. Look at, the questions. Who can read the first question in number 1? Where did Adil spend the summer? Who can try?
Can I?
Adnan?
Yes. Okay. Read the email from Adil and his friend. Okay, where did Adil spend the summer?
Where did he spend, the summer? Look at the first paragraph. I'm attaching, a photo of us at the game. We look good. How do you like it?
The US.
Yes, good. Adil spent summer in the USA because, Brian is from USA. So he sent him a photo just, to remember him that they were together. I guess you have just started the game. Well, that's life. I'm attaching a photo of us. So Adil spent summer in the USA. Now, what about the second question? After summer, we have what? Which season do we have after summer? Who can read the next question? Ibrahim, Mansour.
What time of year? What time of year is it? Spring?
Maybe it is, the fall. After summer, we have the fall or autumn. It is really
Yes.
autumn. Okay. After summer, we have autumn. Good. Number 3, who can read? Dia. Read the third question in number 1.
Okay. How does Adil feel about starting school again? He doesn't look happy.
Yes, he doesn't feel happy. He doesn't feel happy. Why? Because he has to get up early. This is our first week back and everyone's trying to get used to getting up early. And, spending, the whole day at school and doing homework. Now, what about the
Can I
fourth
answer?
question? Why is he excited? Who
Can I answer?
do? Yes, Anwar?
Why is he excited about the weekend? Because in the weekend he's going to spend the day in the desert with his cousins, and he's going to drive his father's Jeep.
Good, because his father promised him to drive his car. Good, because his father has promised to let him drive the Jeep in the desert. Okay, now what about the second question? It talks about PS. At the end of the email, we have the letters PS, I think. Yes. What does PS stand for? Why do we use it?
Can I answer?
Yes.
PS stands for postscript. We use it if we want to add something at the end.
Postscript. Yes, if you want to add some information after after you wrote the email, you can put PE, in other words, the additional information. Postscript, we use it to add more information. PS stands for postscript. It is writing added after the main letter. Okay, so this is about the answers. Now what about the last question? Who can read it?
Can I?
Yeah, Adnan.
Okay. Which email in your book is this email similar to? How do you know?
Good.
It is similar
Maybe
to Olivia.
Yes, the email which is on page 7, which is from Melanie to Olivia.
Mister, I have a question.
Yes.
For the PS, like it's for something to add something extra for the letter after finishing it all, right?
Yes, at the end.
Why
Yes.
didn't he wrote it between
Because
or in the?
yes, he forgot to write it. So if you forgot to write something in your email, you can what? Add, the note at the end of the email. Okay.
Okay.
Just you write the postscript when you forgot to add something in the main, let us say, email. Okay, thank you. Now let's move to the email itself. What do we call this? This is what? The greeting part. Greeting. If you want to greet someone, hi, hello. If he is your friend, you can start dear Ahmed, etc. Now, what about this is what the closing sentence. Give my best to your family, best wishes, best regards, etc. See you soon. These are the closing sentences. And if you want to sign, you can sign with your name, adding the signature. Okay, signed or the signature. Okay, now look at these points. How can we write an email to a friend? So if you want to write an email to a friend, you know, the email will be informal. Let us say email, informal. Greeting, hi, how are you? How's everything? Dear Ahmed, hello Ahmed, hi. If you want to start your email, you start it with, let us say, casual words. How are you? How is it going? You have to mention the reason for why you are writing the email. I'm writing to tell you that I want to, for example, get married, etc. If you want to close the, let us say, the email, like, you know, give my best to your family, best regard, best wishes, see you soon, take care, then you can sign it with your name. So these are the elements of writing an email to a friend. Okay, now here we have an example. You want to write an email to a friend, okay? Decide who you are going to write to and what you are going to write about. Then complete the chart with your notes. Then use your notes to write an email. Now here we have examples. Look here, my greetings, for example, start with مثلا, hi Muhammad, dear Muhammad, hello Muhammad, etc. My opening words. Look here, how are you? I miss you. How is it going? How is everything? Are you okay? Miss you, etc. The reasons that you are going to write, why you are, writing this email. I'm writing to remind you of my graduation party next week. This is, the reason. Now, if you want to close the email, you can write, مثلا, see you soon, take care, best wishes, best regards, give my best to your etc. And you can sign it with your name. About, you can send attachment like pictures, documents, etc. Invitation card. This is the attached documents. This is, just, an example. You can write different information. Now we can use this information to write an email. Look at the email. Hi, Muhammad. Look, this is the information that we put in the chart. Who can read it quickly?
Can I?
Yes, Adnan.
Hi, Muhammad. How are you? I miss you. I'm writing to remind you of my graduation party next week. We're waiting for your coming. It will be a lot of fun. There will be lots of people there. I'm sure you'll enjoy there. See you soon, Yusuf.
Good. So this is just, an example. If you want to write an email to a friend, you realize it will be different from writing an email to, let us say, business contact or a professional one or someone
This
who's
is
trained.
informal.
Yes, this is informal. But if you want to write, a formal one, it will be different. You will not start with hi. Okay. Now, look at, the writing corner. Here we have, again, as we said before, we have two emails. If you want to write, you can write to a friend, or if you want to write to email to a business or professional contact. Who can read the first part about, writing an
Can I?
email to a friend? Let me choose. Dia.
Okay. When you write an email to a friend, greet and sign your letter in an informational manner. Example, hi, hello, dear. Plus first name and best wishes. See you soon.
Dear,
Take care.
his first name. This is if you
Yes.
want to to close it. Good. Write as if you were speaking to him. So here you have to to think careful that you are talking to your friend. You have to imagine that you sit with him, just to talk with him or to write as you speaking to him face to face. You can use contracted forms, emotions, abbreviations, etc. Now, what about the second part? If you write to, let us say, a business contact, who can read?
Can I read?
Anwar.
Okay.
When you write to a
When you write to a business professional contact, address and sign the letter more formally. Example: Dear Sir, Madam, Dear Mr. Mrs. Plus last name and kind regards. Best regards, sincerely. Do not
Good.
use contracted or abbreviated forms.
Abbreviation forms. So if you want to write, a formal, let us say, email, the address must start with, the greeting must start with Dear Sir, Dear Madam, and his last name. And if you want to, let us say, close it, you have to close it with these expressions like kind regards, best regards, sincerely, etc. Do not use contracted or, abbreviated forms. You have to write full words or full sentences. I think here we have to stop. Okay. Next time,